Jerry, really, it's been a long time getting you in here. I know you stay busy, okay? Tell me, when I was thinking about Jerry, I never knew your middle name was Grant. Where does that come from?
Scotland. My grandmother was from Scotland.
Okay.
She came over when she was 13 years old on the Carpathia and picked up survivors from the Titanic.
Well, ain't that cool?
So she used to tell me those stories, and I didn't record them. I should have recorded them.
You should have. You lost it.
I lost it. She died unexpectedly. So my background is Scottish, and going on my honeymoon to Scotland.
That is
when
neat.
I get married. So
I'm Scottish,
making plans.
Scottish and German.
So.
And I thought I was more Indian until I'd done I've done the DNA and done all those things, and that's been real interesting. I've learned a lot about people that I didn't know I was kin to. Okay, and first thing I done is we had a young lady that my mom had a half sister she'd never met, and she had a daughter anyway, and she didn't know she had any relatives. Well, I done the ancestry.
Wow!
And she showed up in Charleston. And we both matched, and she didn't know it. And she came to dinner on the 4th of July, her and her family. And I told her, I said, now the first thing we do with families, we borrow $20. I said, we like to do that.
Yeah, my grandmother's a Scotland Grant, and then on the other side, German, the Altisers. So I've got German, but on my dad's side, she was a Grant, and all my grandchildren are named after her.
That's pretty neat, man. I laugh at us, we're how we are, but there's 6 of us named John Dash, and 6 or 7. But anyway, there's 3 of them on our street. Okay, so we're not creative people. I know my dad talked about you a lot. He really admired.
Well, there's 7 Grants, but the granddaughters their middle names are Grant. My name's Grant.
Ain't that cool?
My son's names, both of them are Grant. So we kept the Grant going.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, we've that's what my daughter-in-law talked. We talked a lot about that. I said, you got to have a boy. You just keep having them until you have one, so we can call him John.
We didn't have boys.
That's pretty cool. Well, Grant, you're a little flexible there.
Yep, a little flexible.
Yeah,
the girls, they don't mind having the name Grant.
Right. Well, it's pretty neat. It really is. Dad's talking about teaching you in Sunday school.
He did.
He told me. I remember he told me years ago, and was talking.
I knew that would come up.
Yeah.
If you didn't bring it up, I was going to bring it up.
He talked about that, about teaching you in Sunday school.
That's before you were born.
Yes. Yeah. But there's a lot of interesting stuff there. You graduated, what, 68?
68.
68, class of 68. We just had our reunion, another reunion the other day, and we're having our 50-year reunion next year. We're going to have our 50-year reunion because there wasn't 4 of us there. That was out of the class that I graduated from. And a lot of my time, I asked them before we had the reunion why a lot of people don't go to reunions. I said, how come you think people don't go to class reunions? I said, most time because they think they're the only ones got fat and old. They don't know that everybody's got fat and old. And then several people came. They said, we come even though we're fat and old, like you said. I said, everybody's aged the same. Ain't like you think it's going to be somebody young there from 68. Everybody's going to be glad to be there.
I can remember 2 things about your dad. One thing is he used to take us on cookouts. And I don't know, I was 8, 9 years old.
Right.
I had never had a hamburger bun.
Right.
My mother and daddy didn't buy hamburger buns. The hamburgers were on light bread. So your dad gave me my first hamburger bun, and I remember we were pitching horseshoes, and one of them went in the lake, and your dad didn't want to lose his horseshoe, and he went and got it out. Came out, and his wallet's dripping wet. Good times.
Yeah.
We had good times.
I can remember as a boy, as growing up, and we'd done things that you're thinking now. We would go up there and go swimming up at Berwyn Lake as a boy, and the dock was on those barrels then. The whole dock was on barrels, 55-gallon drums, and it floated and walked as you know. We would go up there and go swimming at night, buck naked. My dad take me. I was a little boy, and I'd be up there jumping off that dock in the lake swimming. And we had I don't know if you ever remembered Sonny Ploss.
Yeah, I do.
Sonny Ploss
rode that horse.
Blind,
rode that horse.
Blind and ride a horse, and
Sonny and Hazel.
Yeah.
Doris.
Yes, yeah.
Do 'em all.
And Sonny, we'd go riding on Sundays. He would ride a horse. You know, he loved to ride horses. And a lot of times, I would be on an old pony, and I'd start crying, you know, because it was mean or wild. And he would turn the pony loose, and it'd follow the horses, and he put me behind Sonny. Now, my dad would put me down the hardtop riding with a blind man. And I never was sure about that, but he'd say, "You get up there behind Sonny," and he'd make me ride behind him. And I said, "Well, all right." But growing up, when you think about growing up, I was just thinking about some things that come up. What, you know, when you think about war in that area, what was it like to you when we talk about in the 60s and in that era? What are some things you remember
Go
about
back to
West
the
Virginia?
50s.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Well, the things that I can remember the most is how crowded war was on the weekends and the sidewalks. And the sidewalks were so crowded. And I remember the stores that we had, they stayed open. War used to have a Kroger's. I don't know if you knew that, but you know, there was about 4 Kroger's in McDowell County.
Right.
And then we had clothing stores. We had 2 theaters that were close together. I always told somebody one thing about war, you could start at the uppermost corporate limits up there at Pine Ridge and walk to the other end of war and have one beer. You stop at every beer joint and have one beer, and you'd finish 2 six-packs by the time you got there.
It was a big thing.
So the saloons and the Wigwam and the pool halls,
the Liberty
lunch,
Yeah,
Donna at the
right.
Liberty lunch, and
Yeah.
But it was just a booming place,
Yeah.
and they showed double features at those theaters,
Right.
and you had to stand in line to get in. Both of them were full,
Right.
and then of course Fridays during the fall the football games. I mean, they put that big fence up around there because the people were watching it from the railroad track and building fires. And I
Right.
mean, it was just a big spectacle.
You know, I can remember growing up, you know, and I grew up after you did, didn't I? But some reason we had to climb the fence to get in. I don't know why. It couldn't have cost that much to get into the ball game.
About 50 cents. when I
But
was
why
young.
did we climb the fence? I'll never understand that.
It was fun.
I think
It was fun.
we felt like you was breaking the law.
Probably tore more clothes up getting them snagged on that barbed wire fence. But yeah, I'd never. Gosh, I was out of college before I ever paid to go to a football game.
Ain't that something? You know, you think of it. It really. So when you think about it, think about the crowd. It was busy. It was a big boom. You know, the population is less than 500 now.
Is it
in
really?
war.